Hi, everybody. It's Kim Shivler. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about some highlights from WordCamp US. If you're not familiar, WordCamps are what we call conferences in the WordPress community. And this was the first time we actually had the full US group come together for a WordCamp. It was the largest one ever. We had 1,801 people live in Philadelphia and over 700 watching live streaming. So it really was a great camp. So just so you guys can see, I've got my WordPress t-shirt on today, my WordCamp US t-shirt, and it's a little cool in Florida today. So I've got my WordPress sweatshirt on too. So I think I probably spent too much time at the swag table. So as we go over some of the highlights, I am recording this for my blog and for my students. And I also wanted to share that for some of you who don't know me well, I was actually able to speak at WordCamp US. It was a great honor. I had a wonderful time teaching people about building online training courses. So over some of the highlights here, Dagmar had asked what was my biggest aha moment. I would say it was I had a few of them. One of them was how much I'm doing wrong when it comes to accessibility. And I took several sessions on accessibility, and I sat down with some accessibility experts and realized that I am not doing a lot of things right, particularly when it comes to keyboards and people being able to use a keyboard to walk through it instead of scrolling through with a mouse. And then I'm also missing a few things from the screen readers, and I need to pay more attention to my color contrast. So that was really eye-opening to me, and I've committed to, over the next few months, it's going to take me a little time, really go through my sites and try to work on those so that they are more accessible in these ways. And then also add that to my blogging. And when we're talking about teaching people how to build sites, it's so much more than just H1s and alt text and everything. It's also got to do with how keyboards can walk through it and see it and how they manage it. And the other aha moment along with that, because I think this is becoming people are becoming more aware of it and wanting to become more aware of it. It was the first time during a presentation that I was asked a question about it for the plugins I was talking about. So those of you who know, I teach people a lot of times how to build online courses with WordPress plugins. And I had people asking how accessible the plugins were. So that's something I will be adding to my reviews as I review plugins and themes, etc., for the WordPress community. Another question, what could WordPress beginners gain? I will tell you the hugest thing they can gain is to realize how much support they have. First of all, at any WordCamp, there's what we call a happiness bar. And a happiness bar is where you can walk up and ask any question, and people will sit down and go through this with you. Now, I didn't do it at this event, but I did do at the WordCamp Orlando. I worked in the happiness bar quite a bit. And one of the ladies said to me, I can't believe this. We pay $40 to come to this conference, and I've gotten thousands of dollars worth of consulting just by being able to sit and talk to people in the happiness bar. And, we'll actually sit with you with the computer and help you with your site. So that's a big thing that any beginner could get. You could, as a beginner, really start seeing that it's not just about software. It's about a beautiful community of people that really do care about the web, about business, and about each other and how we work with the software. And then again, of course, there's huge amounts of learning as far as the conferences, and then awesome networking in the hall. One of them, Erica, thanks for joining us. Erica and I met in the hall after my presentation, and we just had an awesome conversation. And that's something that anyone who's a beginner can start getting that awesome networking. So you definitely don't need to be an expert at this. I met a lady who she's probably, I didn't ask her age, but she definitely was late 60s, possibly into her 70s, is just learning. Her daughter has websites and has an online store, and she's just learning, but she was just right there in the middle of it. The other thing that's really fun with a lot of WordCamps is sometimes there's an extra day, or at least part of a day, called Contributor Day. And that's when anybody can give back. You don't have to be a programmer. I mean, yeah, the hardcore programming guys, they sit in one part of the room and they build WordPress. But even if you're just someone who can read or help with marketing materials, help with documentation, anyone can get involved. And then you really get to be, again, a part of that WordPress community, because remember, it's open source. So it's, everybody can participate, everybody can contribute, which is really cute, cool. And it's your first time, Erica? If this is your first blab and you're anything like me and Dagmar, you're going to be hooked pretty soon, because when you find a few good ones, there's just great stuff going on. So as I was saying, I would say my big takeaways were how much I still need to do for accessibility and how I need to include it in my teaching. So Erica, do you want to jump in and talk about your big, what really meant a lot to you at WordCamp? If you would like to, just feel free to click on there to call in and let us know. And if not, in a few minutes, we're going to bring Dagmar on. The other thing, let's see, the thing that struck me big on this one was most of the WordCamps I go to are from anywhere from 200 to 700 people. Miami's a big one. It's about 700. And this one with 1,800 people, it was like, wow. I ran into a friend on the last day. I didn't even know she was there because I just wasn't able to see her. There were so many people and you were coming and going and that type of thing. So, okay, Erica, click on the call-in button, and I will click to accept you if you're ready to come in. So anyway, that, like I said, that one was really big. The other thing, of course, this one probably should have led with this. The WordCamp, which used to be WordCamp San Francisco, which of course is where the headquarters of Automatic are, the company that they don't own WordPress. WordPress is open source, as I said, but the co-founder of WordPress is Matt Mullenweg. He's the CEO of Automatic. And of course, Automatic is the company that has, okay, Erica, we have all been there. I am using my phone and it's dying, she says. He was the co-founder of WordPress. Automatic is the company that has WordPress.com, which is, of course, where you can go get a free WordPress blog. It's all managed for you. What I teach, and what we usually talk about in my courses and my sessions, are what's called a self-hosted WordPress site, as opposed to the WordPress.com. But at this, we had what's called the State of the Word. And that's where once a year, Matt Mullenweg, the CEO, comes out and talks about what's happening with the WordPress software. Where's it going? How many people are using it? We've surpassed 25% of the web now being run on WordPress, and we're hoping to get more. A lot of from the developer standpoint, a lot is going on. I will get to that question in just a minute. A lot is going on with JavaScript front ends, and it's incredibly powerful, the things they're going to be able to do. Now, those of you who know, I'm kind of a hack when it comes to hardcore development. I am not a hardcore developer, but I did get some really neat behind the scenes demonstrations by some of the guys who work at Automatic, and I am excited for what's coming down the pike for WordPress. It's going to just keep getting better and better, I believe. So making WordCamp so special, WordCamp US so special, yes, it's the very first time we've ever had one centralized WordCamp US. Everything else is considered regional, even though WordCamp San Francisco, being that that's where Automatic is, that was kind of the regional one that grew up to be so big that they've now decided to do a WordCamp US once a year. And what happens is a city or a group can actually apply, and it will be there for 2 years. So we were in Philadelphia this year. We'll be in Philadelphia again next year. And then someone else within the United States will get it for the following 2 years. So I'm really excited to go every year. And something they also haven't done before is normally WordCamp tickets go on sale about 1 to 2 months ahead of the camp. The next one for next year, they went on sale yesterday or today. So if you have any idea that you might want to go to Philadelphia December 2nd and 3rd of next year, then you may want to go ahead and buy that $40 ticket. So that would be something for you. Welcome, WP Tutoring, your first day on Blab. We're happy to have you here. If you were at WordCamp US and would like to share something or have any WordPress or WordCamp questions about WordCamp, please feel free to click on and jump in. And hello, Erica. I am accepting you. Come on in and see us. All right, I can't see you yet. Do you have your camera on? Here she comes. Hey, Erica.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm so excited. This is my first time doing this.
Well, we are happy to have you. You may want to turn your microphone up just a little bit. You're kind of quiet, but I'm excited to have you on with me. While you're doing that, Dagmar asked who should participate in WordCamps. Anybody who's interested in WordPress. If you're interested in having a site that's WordPress, if you're interested in building sites, if you have a site that someone built for you, if you want to know anything more about WordPress or get involved with the community, I think a WordCamp should be in your future for that.
Yeah, can you hear me better now or no?
Not much. I can still hear you. How about the rest of the group? Can you hear Erica?
I did get on Blabber with my desktop, but this time I'm trying to use my cell phone. So, maybe next time I'll learn how to do it. I'll switch to the desktop. I'm trying to increase the microphone.
We'll try it now. And the other thing, as far as participating in WordCamps, I would say is if you're someone who has questions that you want to be able to sit down with someone and get some answers to, the Happiness Bar is a great place to do that. If you're just a business person and your interest in WordPress is strictly business, you're not necessarily in a Q&A situation where you want help, or you don't want to join the community and give back, then I get that it may or may not be the best conference for you. But for the price, if you have one in your town, I think it's always worth checking out if you do anything with WordPress. Try it now. And I have to follow you. I just followed you.
Yeah, I'm trying to increase it. Again, this is kind of new to me.
Yeah, we can see you fine, but we can barely hear you. Do you have an external mic to plug in by chance? What about your headset?
Okay. Yeah.
Now we've lost her.
You know what? I'm going to use my computer.
Okay, jump back on your computer and we'll go ahead on this one. Okay, WP Tutoring hasn't jumped in. If you want to put in the sidebar, were you at WordCamp or just looking for some more of the highlight information on what we did at WordCamp US? For those of you who followed me on Twitter or who follow me on Twitter, you might have seen I got one of the cool things at WordCamp, the bigger WordCamps, is you've got swag tables. So I have all kinds of new t-shirts to be wearing as we go through our next the next several classes. So, oh, thank you. You saw my talk. You enjoyed it. Thank you very much. If you saw the tweet today, I don't know if you signed up for the membership area, but I do have some information out there now, and I am adding more today and tomorrow. So if you haven't gone out and downloaded the guide, etc., I hope you will do that. And that's at howtobuildononlinecourse.com/WCUS. And thank you for attending. I really had a wonderful time getting to speak. And I would say another big thing for me with WordCamps is the relationships that have developed for me outside of them. Some of my people who become good friends are people I have met at camps, whether I was speaking or they were speaking, or we just met in a hallway. And so it means a lot to me when I get to actually meet people and interact and be with them. So I would say those were really my big ones. I'm hoping Eric will come in with a few. I had planned on this being kind of a 30-minute quick overview talk, but I was hoping we'd have some more people who had highlights they wanted to talk about jump in. As far as approaching speakers, it is, I will say, from my experience, the two types of conferences, or the two conferences I go to that are the easiest, are WordCamps, any WordCamp. And those of you who know, I did Podcast Movement this year, and that one, you're running into people that are just really killing it in your field, and you're sitting down in the same hallway talking to them. So I have always found the speakers very approachable at the WordCamps. Now, you may have to wait a little bit to talk to them because the line kind of, fills around them. But I would say that everybody I've ever tried to approach was very approachable. And if you'll follow up with them, most of them will follow back, come back with you. They are people who really are willing to engage with you. That's been my experience. If you have had anything different, WP tutoring, or if you want to jump in on that, how you found working with speakers afterwards. Same with you, Erica. That has really been, those of you who do know me know that I came out of big high tech and worked for an IBM's worldwide team and had gone to some of the really big conferences back in the day, and you just didn't get to approach people, particularly larger speakers. You really didn't have much chance to talk to them or even be near the stage a lot of times. So the conferences here are much more, I feel, personable. That's always been me with WordCamps. Now this one, because it was so big, 1,801 people, the rooms were much bigger than what I'm used to normally. And I don't know how many people, a lot of people asked me how many people were in your presentation. And I have no idea, because the way the lights were set up, I could see about 2 rows of people, but I couldn't see anything beyond that because the lights were right in my eyes. Now, I know there were at least more than 10 or 12 because I had that many people talk to me and join me afterwards. And, I could just tell by hearing in the room, but I really could not see anything past the first couple of seats. But you could tell it was much bigger. Oh, okay, great. Nason is wonderful. He is, I don't know him personally, but I try to sit in on anything he does. He's a fabulous developer. And they do have them. Yeah, Baltimore has a big one, I think, or, a good regional one. And I know there's several around there. So you should be able to get in with those. And if you're going to meetups with those kind of guys, you are just like set for life, I would say. I am talking to our WordCamp Orlando. I am outside of Orlando about an hour, and I used to be in South Florida, and I've been talking to the people who run WordCamp Orlando about us maybe doing something here locally. So Dagmar, maybe we would start doing something, even if it was just every other couple of months, if it wasn't every month, if we could get some other WordPressers here interested, because I like to go to Orlando, but an hour drive every month sometimes is just not doable, especially because I don't really like driving at night very much. So those are some things. And I love the WordPress community setup. I mean, when I even mentioned it to the folks I know in Orlando, they said, okay, we'll get in the car, we'll drive over, we'll help you get it set up, we'll come to the first meetings to help you. Just really nice community driven stuff. And that is what I think makes WordPress so special. So, all right, I think we're kind of out of where I had scheduled time. Erica, let's get together in the next day or so and get you on a blab working together. So we know that you know how to get on, that we've got your stuff working. And then in the future, because Dagmar and I are planning on doing blabs, I've been doing it an awful lot. We got her on a few weeks ago. Actually a month ago, right? We plan on doing a lot of blabs and teaching a lot from the blab platform. Now, of course, it doesn't really allow for screen sharing. So I'm still going to have my video trainings that I have, et cetera, if you're following me. But we will be doing a lot of open discussions. And we've been doing that. It's been going great for the last couple of weeks. So we will be teaching, for example, we just did a really great interview with a man on the importance of keeping sites updated and maintained. So we'll be doing some basic WordPress. Dagmar does SEO, so we'll be talking about search engine optimization and how to position yourself as an expert to be found. And then I'm going to be launching a podcast on online training, excuse me, where every week I will be interviewing someone who has built an online training course, and we'll go through their experience, what worked with marketing, what didn't, what platform they chose and why. And I'm leaning towards right now doing at least some of those interviews as live blabs and then taking the audio and popping it into the podcast. I've recently been interviewed on several podcasts that are doing it that way right now. And I think that's a great way because you've got the people who are more blab oriented. They can jump on with us and we could, excuse me, I've got another question, distracted myself. So that's something we'll be doing. Are you asking that specifically of me, Dagmar, on my business secret that I could? Okay. So she wants to know how I've been able to build up my being recognized for creating online courses so fast. But in reality, it was kind of one of those 20-year overnight successes in that I've been teaching online. I've been teaching for over 20 years technology. I actually created some of my first online courses in a very ugly HTML way back in the 90s. And the last couple of years have really focused. I was teaching basic WordPress, but was doing a lot of it through online classes. So this year, some of my advisors and people who are customers and asking of me said, well, why aren't you teaching us how to build online courses? You know how to build online courses. You have a master's degree in education, so you know the content piece, and you've been doing it for several years. Why don't you focus more on that? So I started focusing more on that. And then building the recognition comes from marketing and a tribe, and my tribe helping me market, like Dagmar over here, and putting in and speaking at WordCamps, because when you get in front, you start getting in front of people within the community. It's just one of those ways to start establishing yourself within that community as an expert. So that's kind of my overview story. And that's going to be it for today. Let's see, Erica, I'm following you. WP Tutoring, I want to following you. So I'm following everybody here. If you're following me, keep up with that. Did niching help, Dagmar? Absolutely. And I think that's something we, if any of us are online, know that creating a niche and niching down is going to help us, right? Because I still do teach basic WordPress because, frankly, if you come and you want to build online courses and you need some basic support, I still need to offer that for you. But there's tons and tons of people who are teaching the basics, and a lot of that I can hand off to them, and I can focus just on what I do the best, which is helping you learn the courseware creation, and I can do it from the content side because, as I mentioned in my presentation, content's the hardest part. Teaching you the plugin for WordPress to build out your course it's easier than actually figuring out how to get that content out of our head onto the page or onto the video or onto the combination of those and get it into the students' hands in a way that they can do wonderful things with it. And yes, building collaborations, Dagmar, building collaborations, building your tribe. We talked about that in my presentation. It's about interacting and building strong relationships, both online and offline. And those of you who do know me or who met me, Erica, meeting me in the hallway there, I create, even though I have an online business and I have an online presence, I create so many relationships just one-on-one. Was WordCamp US. Any WordCamp is a great place for building collaborations. The cool thing with WordCamp US is I was able to build some collaborations, not just with the normal regional people, but much more national and international people. We had folks from Russia and Japan and China and all over the world. And also that's where you get a lot of times the team from Automatic. So you got a lot more people from the official Automatic company. So it was really great. And yes, Erica, for those of you, Dagmar, Erica has very similar background to me in that she's been an instructor, she's been instructional design and a web developer. So we had so much fun talking in the hallway and swapping stories. So that was really, really great stuff. All right. Any other questions? All right, cool. As I said, we'll be doing this quite often. I will be this week. It's been a kind of crazy getting just back from Philadelphia, trying to get something out here for a quick follow-up to talk about some of the really valuable stuff I learned while I was there, particularly that accessibility, those accessibility issues, and that I didn't have time really to get ahead of time out to everybody. But as I come up over the next couple of weeks and we start doing these on a little bit more of a schedule, I will make sure that I get it posted out to everyone who follows me, a day or two ahead of time. So if you get those alerts when someone schedules a blab, you will get that. Okay. Anything else? Then I just thank you guys for being here. I will see you back on Blab and online soon. You may follow me at Twitter at Kim Shivler, the same as Blab. And you can find me at howtobuildanonlinecourse.com and whiteglovewebtraining.com. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Dagmar. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, WP Tutoring. So happy to have you here. I will see you guys soon. Bye.